Digital Romance TV.
Hey folks, how's it going? It's Michael Fiore from Digital Romance TV, and we're going to have a fight right now.
We have disagreement.
We're going to have a disagreement.
This happens on the podcast all the time.
All the time. We actually have entire episodes of us bickering.
So the subject is the best two things to sext her, and I said, well, it's just generally sext has one outcome. You're trying to turn somebody on, so what are the best two ways to do that for a woman over text? He believes that it depends on where you are in your relationship, and it's contextual.
Well, actually, I was going to say two things. Let me just say two things.
All right.
One, not your penis.
Never.
Never. Never. It's actually never the best. I have done that before when I was younger. I regret it.
There's only...
Yeah, go ahead.
There are very few penises that are actually worth a picture.
And usually not for positive reasons.
And it's usually somebody that you're deeply with and have a great fondness for as a person. Still it's a little off-putting.
A woman never wants to see a picture of your penis before she's seen the actual thing.
Never.
Right? Now, gay men, different. Totally different thing.
Sure.
We're not talking about gay men in this particular case.
Talking about women, straight women.
Men are much more visual.
Gay women don't want to see your penis at all.
Men make this weird assumption. I would love it if she sent me a picture of her boobs, so why doesn't she want to see my penis?
Boobs are so much cuter than penises.
There you go. The other thing is, though, like, the best two things to text her, that's really, I mean, to sext her, man, I've written a lot about texting, obviously,
but
and sexting.
sexting is so much different. And
but I would say
somebody who does it on a regular basis.
Yes, but again, it depends to me on, like, have you had sex or not? Is actually an important. Okay. That's the point that I'm making. It's like there's sexting before you've had sex, and there's sexting after you've had sex. After you've had sex, like the day after, the best thing to sext her is what I call a favorite part text, right?
Sure, but I'm going to get back to the fact that I think sexting is actually a lead into sex.
It often is.
Not what you're talking about, which is a connection that happens because you've had sex,
so what
and you do that over
So let me just finish this one. The favorite thing text would simply be saying something like, I can't stop thinking about, and then you describe your favorite thing in detail, erotic detail, from what actually happened. Possibly even slightly enhanced, based on reality, if not entirely reality.
Sure.
Now, leading up to that, it obviously has to be somebody who there's been flirtation with, and you build things up from there.
Yes.
Right? Now, the way you build that up from there, the reason this question is unfair is that you don't just go from 0 to, can you imagine what it's going to feel like when I shove my, massive man rod into your blah, blah, blah. It's too much, right?
That was all too much.
It's just too much. Like in Text the Romance back.
Even if I'm sleeping with somebody, that's too much.
But you don't want to go into, like the best thing to be sexting somebody is generally narrative kind of stuff.
Sure.
If I were there right now, here's what would happen and here's how you would react. I talk about this in Text the Romance back. You're often narrating the reaction of the person that you're texting to, which is actually what makes it really hot because that causes them to start feeling these kinds of things. Right. But you can't just you just can't send that right off the bat. Instead, what I usually start with would be something like a curiosity text, right? I can't stop thinking about ... smiley face.
Sure.
Which creates curiosity, and she goes, what?
Right.
And then from there, I'm not sure I should tell you. You can play coy. You can kind of do all that kind of things, or you can be really. You can say something like, "Your eyes. You have the most gorgeous. Your eyes. I know I saw them the other day, but you have the most gorgeous eyes." And then from there, you can start moving into more of a narrative that becomes more and more sexual as things go on, depending on what kind of reaction you're getting from the person that you're sexting. That's why the question is unfair. But that's also what you should do. But it's not just a text or a sext at that point. Anything else to say?
No.
Okay, well, if you want to learn how to do all that, there's a program called Text the Romance Back, which I wrote, which goes into exacting detail and basically gives you every single text you could possibly use for the entire sequence. I will say I wrote this program back when I was single, and it works, is what I would say. It certainly enhanced my sex life and the sex life of several women who I used it on. So if you want to check that out, go to digitalromanceinc.com.
On the products page.
On the products page.
TRB.
Text the Romance Back. You'll also get 3 magic texts you can try right now.
Those actually will be texts that you can use right now.
Yes, they're really good. And that's it. Bye. If you've got a cell phone in your pocket or purse right now, then you've got everything you need to create incredible romance and passion with the man or woman in your life at the push of a button. Go to digitalromance.tv/TRB to see Michael Fiore make an entire audience of women on The Rachel Ray Show swoon and learn how to use tiny little text messages to have the relationship of your dreams.